Use code Proxidus for 20% off any tub at G Fuel. It's okay, Kiryu. I get why you're feeling this way, but could I interest you in a better game series to possibly be in? Huh? I am a huge fan of the Yakuza / Like a Dragon series. Well, I would say used to be a huge fan of them because they are currently going through very strange times, very turbulent era. One could say the flop era, like they are just making dumb decision after dumb decision, and seriously, like I don't know what the fuck is up with them right now. It is actually kind of insane. So ever since the PC port release of Yakuza 0, or just Yakuza 0 as a whole, the series was just going up. It was going up in the world, it was getting more and more popular, and I would honestly say that popularity has peaked at Infinite Wealth. That game was very successful. But after Pirate Yakuza, it's just been dumb decision after dumb decision, and I don't know what's going on over at RGG Studios. I don't know if this is Sega's doing or the new guy's doing, because the old guy went and he's making his own Yakuza style game at a different studio, and there's probably a reason why he left, considering all the weird decisions they're making right now. And it sucks to see, because these guys have made some incredible games. Like, even the games that I don't personally like, I still do like, if that makes sense. Like Yakuza 4 was a miserable slog to play through, but I still really liked it. And so was Ishin. I didn't enjoy playing that game all too much, but I still really liked it. There's something about these games, they just have like a drug in them that just makes them so charming and addictive. But now I'm not even considering buying their new game, which is a remake of 3. And 3 is one of my favorites story-wise. I actually really wanted them to remake 3 because Yakuza 3 does not play very well. It was actually one of the few that desperately needed a remake. I don't care what anyone says, like it is, yeah, it was made during that weird PlayStation 3 era where developers hadn't gotten quite to grips with the development tools given to them, if you get what I mean. Like, if you compare Yakuza 3 to Yakuza 0, they're both PlayStation 3 games. I hope that puts it into perspective for you. But yeah, Yakuza Kiwami 3. Where do I start with the stupid decisions with this one? For starters, they recasted Rikia, and now instead of looking like a silly, goofy, very friendly, but also kinda, you know, kinda tough looking, a bit intimidating Yakuza guy who became one of everyone's favorite characters for very obvious reasons, they instead decided to remodel him after a rat in the local sewers of Tokyo. Because what the fuck? What kind of downgrade is it? Why? He looks like a thug you would just see on the side of the road in Yakuza 3 that you just beat up now. There's nothing about him that stands out, and I don't get this choice. But that's a minor thing, right? That's not even the big thing. The big thing is the recast for Hamazaki. They hired a sex pest weirdo, and despite all the complaints and everyone wanting, you know, for him to be recasted, they said no, they're not doing anything about it. And you know what? It gets worse. It gets worse. They're delisting Yakuza 3 Remastered, so you can only buy the Kiwami 3 remake. Which, you know, besides the recasting choices, you know, it plays better, all that stuff. No, they fucked up the story too. Okay, so if you don't want a spoiler, I'm gonna put a timestamp here. If you do want to play Kiwami 3, I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, I can't stop anyone, so I might as well give a spoiler warning. Okay, here we go. They retconned Mine's death. I don't know how he survived the fall from that big-ass fucking skyscraper. Maybe rubber pavement, or a rubber bush that he landed on that stopped him dying from the fall. Doesn't make sense, but hey, here we are. And now he's a part of the Daidoji. Do you guys remember the Daidoji? That faction that was introduced in the Yakuza Gaiden? Yeah, he's a part of that now. This kind of just makes me like Mine less as a whole. Like, I thought he died for a pretty good cause. I loved him as a villain. I thought he was incredible. He was cold, cunning, extremely calculated. And I thought his death had purpose. I thought, you know, he comes around at the end, sacrifices himself. He became a memorable villain for a reason. But now that he's alive and he's going around in that fucking black coat, being a Daidoji member, it's just dumb. I kind of don't care about him anymore. Oh, and speaking of Mine, that Dark Ties or whatever the fuck it's called, that side thing. Supposedly it's about as long as the Majima saga from Kiwami 2, except the Mine one was advertised as a much bigger side story to be connected to Kiwami 3 and to justify the price of it, but you know, I guess not. I guess it's just this little side DLC where they wanted to milk Mine even more because people like Mine, so let's give him more of Mine and oversaturate him and just, yeah, it's fucking stupid. Now, let's move away from the Kiwami 3 stuff because there's more stuff. And this one really pisses me off. Yakuza 0. Now, you're probably a bit confused, you know, Yakuza 0 is a great game. It is. Yakuza 0 is an incredible game. It was an amazing starting point for the series. Hell, I would say most of us started with Yakuza 0. But they made Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, which, you know, it's a bit expensive. It's a bit spenny. £44 for a 2016 game for some cutscenes, retconning even more deaths and just adding almost nothing to the story. But they delisted the original Yakuza 0. So you have to spend this much to play it. Oh, did I mention that it's 90 gigabytes? Don't ask me why it's 90 gigabytes. How big is Yakuza 0? It's whatever's on the screen right now. That's how big normal Yakuza 0 is. And if you compare the two, yeah, it's kind of night and day there. You know, it's a bit crazy, that. Bit weird. It's not weird, it's fucking stupid. Why are they doing this? They're just constantly shooting themselves in the foot over and over again. And I don't think it helps that their last game was Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. That game, like, I like that game, but it wasn't like amazing. It added nothing to the story, really. It kind of just exists in its own little bubble as like a filler game. It had a lot of potential to do a lot of things with the narrative, but they just didn't. And yeah, I don't know, I've lost a lot of respect for this studio, which is sad because I used to be a huge RGG fan. Some of the best games I've played are from their catalog, you know, Judgment, Yakuza 0, Like a Dragon. Speaking of Like a Dragon, Ichiban, right? Can we address Ichiban? He was made to replace Kiryu, but then they just overshadow him with Kiryu constantly. This is a gripe with Infinite Wealth, but I'm noticing it as well with the game releases. Like, we've had 2 Ichiban games, and even in the spin-offs where they've done recasting for like in Ishin, for example, he's just like a card in that game rather than being a character, even though he is a main character. He is supposed to be the main character. He was supposed to replace Kiryu, but who knows at this point. With how the series is going, I wouldn't be surprised in the 9th game. Kiryu survives his cancer, he's got fucking superpowers or some shit, he comes back and just overshadows Ichiban again, and Ichiban just, maybe he dies, and that's a driving force for Kiryu to cure super cancer. I don't fucking know. This series and this studio is at a serious low point, and I just wanted to vent. It is so sad to see. I might be wrong, but it can only go up from here, right? It can only go up from here. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble. I would like to thank my Patreon supporters now. A huge thank you to Nintendo Pro, Profit, Ryan IDC, Pitstab, Bouncer Storm Productions, and Daniel Levchenko. And a huge thank you to my channel members as well. That being Marcus Platts, Joshua Whitford 5509, Evan Underhill 2342, Bidoo for Doom, Gabriel Padro 5589, Scary 1407, Eteria Sigma, Eggy 613, Wentel 77, Riff King 66, Dizrays 3250, Sobitax, Liam Talks About, Andreas Stewart 8871, Ethank 78, Galaxy 11243, Glusky 36, Floody 38, Wolfborn TV, Rust on Wood, L Hayes 117, also known as Some Bowling Guy Rambling Into the Void, Griefgar, and Resistance Lion. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. I know this video has been kind of a downer, but I appreciate it, and I hope, I don't know, man. I hope the Yakuza series gets better from here.